Time is now 5:33 on a Monday morning, the beginning of the last week of January 2021. My shift has about half an hour to go. I have quite in excess of $300 on. I have done well. When I first started out, it was really busy. It was one right after another. By 10 o'clock, I had 200 on. Yeah, it was good. I had such luck, one right after another. Then I had one that went out to the Western Communities for $40. And then when I was out there, I got another call, and that one came back into town for another $35. So it was good. That was a good stroke. So yeah, and the rest. Then it slowed down after midnight. It slowed again after 2, but the whole night as a whole, can't complain. I am tired at the moment, and I'm going up a hill, so I don't want the phone to flip over. That should be okay. There are cars behind me, but they're keeping their distance. Anyways, yeah. It's been entertaining. It's been a slice. It got really cold out there too. Got 3 degrees and it's wet. It's a wet 3 degrees. And that means that the heat just gets sucked right out of you. Because we have high humidity in winter here. It rains a lot. The rain makes me tired. Is there anything else to say really, except that I've done well tonight? I'm just thankful, and I hope the rest of the week will be all right too. I blame it on the fact that we didn't have many cars on the road tonight. For some reason, guys stayed away from work. Yeah, let's have 4 more good ones in a row. That. It is now Tuesday morning at 5:44. At the last minute, 10 minutes before I was gonna quit for the night, I got a call to a gas station not far away from where I was sitting. And it was these 2 guys who were going out to the peninsula. The guy said, I'll give you $50 if you take me to McTavish. And the other guy says, and I gotta stop at Mitchell's on the way. Okay, so we stopped by Mitchell's, but it was a little bit of a detour. And this guy ended up giving me $55 for a $52 fare, which worked out just fine. I'm not complaining at all. The only thing is, I might be a little bit late for my chiropractor's appointment, where I got to get my back stretched. Because if you've been following me the last few weeks, you know that the owner drives on Tuesday during the day, and I want the car to be clean for him, because he always gives it clean to me. If somebody else is driving it, I'm not going to be so picky. But because the owner of the car is driving it, I want to make it clean for him. So fortunately, between here and where I'm going, there is a convenient car wash where I can stop and wash the car, detail the interior, and then I can motor off into town, hit the bank, fuel it up, park it, walk home, and then I can walk to the chiropractor. It has been a good night. So I got 320 on. So that's 2 nights in a row, Sunday and Monday, over $300. Just wonderful. It's completely the opposite of last week, where both of these nights I was making less than 200, or it was right around the $200 mark. Last week was hard, but this week I am doing well. So if it's a little slower the rest of the week, it's not going to hurt me too bad, because I did well. And I've got most of my lease put together in Interacs already. I think I only need $60 or $70 to make my lease, and I've only gone through 2 nights out of 5 for the whole week. So I'd say that's pretty good. Anyhow, oh yes, there was something to report. I was going down a dark street. I do that at night all the time. And this particular dark street has a bike trail that crosses it. A bike trail which has no lights on it. It's pretty much a daytime thing. But occasionally you'll see cyclists riding on this trail at night. And they are equipped with lights. In fact, as I was coming down the dark street, there was a cyclist that went by, and I saw him, you know, and there were reflectors on the wheels, and there was a light in the front, and there was red blinking in the back. Fine. Anyway, I got to the stop sign. I stopped. I looked one way. There was no light. I looked the other way. There was no light. There was nothing coming. I proceeded to cross that trail, and I heard a crunch right here on my front fender. And I open up the window, and there's a guy and his bike on the ground. He says, "What are you doing, you stupid idiot?" And I said, "You are riding around without a light on. I can't see you when you're coming at me, and you're calling me an idiot?" Then I drove away. I just drove away. In order to cover my ass, I went home. I went to the office and filled out a quick little accident report saying that I got clobbered on the fender with this random bike. I mean, the guy, I couldn't see him. I don't know how he could see where he was going without having something lighting his path. Anyway, I filled out that little accident thing, and yeah, whatever. So now I'm going to wash the car. There's no mark on the car. He didn't hit me hard with just a little crunch. If he would have hit me hard, he would have gone flying over the hood. Well, the office didn't receive any phone calls like an hour and a half after the incident, and we're just hoping he didn't remember the plate number on the car, and he didn't go and or he's not going to report this. He's not going to make a claim, because I've just been sued, or papers were served upon me for an incident that happened a couple of years ago where the guy staged an accident. I don't know if you remember that one, but a guy staged an accident with me, and he was totally in the wrong. This guy was in the wrong too. He didn't have a light on. How can I see you if you don't have a light on in the pitch blackness of night, and there are no street lights? And here we are at the car wash that's on the way home. Wish me luck. The week so far, I had 2 good nights. I had the Sunday night, which was over $300. I had the Monday night, which was over $300. And now I had the Tuesday night, which was under $200. I did about $186 or thereabouts. It was long, it was slow, it was a lot of waiting. It's just nobody was doing anything, apparently. And so I did not make a lot of money. And I sat and did a lot of waiting. And that's how I paid for my 2 $300 nights. By having a night that wasn't worth anything. It's so unpredictable these days. It's not like, okay, usually, you know, on a Tuesday night you'd make $250, $260. No, it's not like that anymore. It's either feast or famine. I think maybe there was just fewer cars on the road on Sunday and Monday, and now Tuesday all these cars came on and plugged up the whole town and slowed things right down. The whole night went like that. It was just sluggish and didn't really get off the ground. The time is now 6:21. I'm gonna pack it in. I just went through the car wash. Head to the bank, put a bit of money in there. Go to the gas station, fuel up, and park it. The night started quietly at 6:10 when I got to work. And it took a while till I got my first trip. I think it was almost 7 o'clock. And it was still kind of quiet until about 8:30, 9 o'clock when it went ballistic. And it was one right after another, for about 3 or 4 hours. By 1:30, it was done. I pulled into a parking lot and waited until almost 3 hours later when I got my next trip. And I think I waited another hour for a trip after that. Or was it a half an hour, whatever. So basically my night ended at 1:30 or so. And at 4:30 I had another trip, and at 5 I had one more. Then I fell asleep in the parking lot again. Watching a video and falling asleep. This seems to be a pattern for me. And I'm in the wrong lane here. This sucks a little bit. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Come on. And so my night ended up with about 220, which, you know, considering how busy it was for a while, should have been more. But I didn't have any really long trips. A lot of them were in the $10 range, $15 range. I think there was one trip that was about $20. So, you know, considering that it was kind of quiet for the first 3 hours, and things were just awkward, you know. I had one guy, it was raining for a while. And in that time you'd get things like the guy with a bike with mud all over it, going from one place to another with his bike in the back, and mud everywhere. Just awkward things. Then the guy who stuttered a lot, you couldn't understand what he was saying. You couldn't understand the address you wanted to go to. And just things like that. Just little little things that made it more difficult than it had to be. Or there was one point where my regular customer asked me to go get her something, and she'd pay me for it and everything, but can you go get this? And I had a trip at the time, and I cleared from a trip, and I was gonna go get her thing, and then another call. I got another call, and it was far away from where my regular customer was, and so I went and did that other call, and then when I got an opportunity, I went to the store and picked up what the customer wanted, what my regular customer wanted. Coming outside of the store, these two people are looking at me saying, "Can we get a ride? Are you the driver?" "Yeah, okay, sure, I'll take you." Yeah. And as I'm getting in the car, I get sent on another trip, and I reject that, and I get sent on another trip, and I reject that. And so I take these people where they're going, just a few blocks. Then of course I get to my regular customer's house, and I got her stuff for her, and she deposited some money in the bank for me. She uses Interac e-transfer. I know how to accept money from that, but I don't know how to send it. And I wouldn't send it anyway. I'm not paying anybody with that. I don't do e-transfer, but I do make bill payments online now. I did graduate to that, so I'm not always writing checks, either for my rent or for you know, things like the hydro bill, or the hydro, that's the electricity. What's the other one? Oh yeah, the credit card. I pay that all online. And my internet is all paid online too, but using my debit card. And my phone is paid using my credit card, which ultimately gets paid online anyway. So yeah, I don't use checks a lot. Did I ever digress? Well, I'm here near the bank, where I'm going to deposit some of the money I made tonight, since I did make some. And I'm gonna go into the Parkade and swab down the interior of the car with some of those wipes. Make it clean in here and smelling good. And that's it for the Wednesday night. I got one more night to go. I'm looking forward to my weekend. The time is now 6:06 a.m. on Friday. The night started off relaxed. I think it took about half an hour, 45 minutes till I got my first call. I got my second call not long after that one. Then I waited about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes for my third one. And that third one went from the end of Union on a street called Persimmon Drive out to the ferries. She had with her one suitcase, 2 shopping bags, and a teddy bear that was bigger than her. Took up half the back seat. She was moving to Vancouver. That's the whole story right there. And so that was a lucky break. That was $60. If not for that one, I would be hurting right now. The rest of the night, I had a few good trips. I had a few trips, basically. And the grand total, after waiting twice for 2 hours between calls in the morning hours, I got $250 on for the whole thing. So yeah, that $60 fare really made a difference, and that was my lucky break. That's what made my night. So $250 on a COVID Thursday night, Yeah, I'll take that. I'm gonna go home now as soon as I fuel up. And as soon as I figure out how much my Interac overs are, and I put those in the glove box for the owner to come and get them and deliver to me my overs, which will happen in a couple hours. So that's not so bad. I hope yours is better than mine.